Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1970s.
We have to convince the little housewife out there that the tomato that ate the family pet is not dangerous.
This is episode 126, recorded November 4th, 2020.
Gruesome Magazine.
I am your host, Doc Rotten, and this podcast is about horror films released between 1970 and 1979. And we have more people to invite, so let's get those people on here. Each episode, my co-host Jeff Mohr and I will tackle another classic or not so classic film from this wondrous, groovy, and gory and influential decade. I feel like I've repeated myself, but you know, a movie like this just bears that, right? All right, we are going to cover Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from 1978. Yes, we're doing that one. Oh my gosh. All right. With me this week, of course, is my co-host, Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
Doing very good. I caught crap for being non-committal last week, so I got to juice it up. And before we get started, I have to say, Audubon, Wiener Schnitzel. Okay.
All right. Well, it's better to catch crap than to catch crabs.
I forgot my mustache black. So.
Oh yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Let the orange guy take care of that. All right. Yeah. Bill Mulligan is with us tonight. He is a writer, a director, a special effects guru, and of course, an all-around nice guy. How you doing, Tomato?
Tomato. I'm doing fine. I've been watching more than my share of garbage movies, some of whom I'm responsible for, and some of whom Chad is responsible for.
Chad. Yes. And speaking of Chad, also joining us tonight is Chad Hunt, comic artist and co-host of Decades of Horror, the classic era. Oh my God, Chad, you did this to us, you bastard.
I sure did. I feel saucy. That's how I feel.
Tomato saucy.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Oh my God.
More than the movie's got.
You hateful beast. All right. We are covering Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which the best thing about this movie is the artwork. All right. It was released October 4th, 1978. That explains a lot. Director is John DeBello. The writer is John DeBello, along with Costa, Dillon, and J. Stephen Peace. The cast includes David Miller, George Wilson, Sharon Taylor, J. Stephen Peace, Ernie, Meyers, Eric Christmas, a couple of guest stars. We'll talk about those. The tagline is great. Arg. The synopsis goes, a group of scientists band together to save the world from mutated killer tomatoes. We're not singing the song, but we might.
Yeah. It's the best part of the movie.
Jeff's voice would be perfect to sing it.
Oh, yeah, it would.
It would be. Yes, but I don't think he's going to do it.
You haven't heard me sing.
All right. Okay. Oh, God, this movie, Attack the Killer Tomatoes. All right, so what we do here, if you are new to the show, is we kind of go around, we kind of talk about the first time we ever saw this and look back to 1978 fondly, hopefully, with this film. And then we'll discuss the film and wrap things up toward the end. And I hope you enjoy us talking about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Mr. Chad Hunt, since this is your film, I'm going to ask you first, when did you first see Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and what was your first impression?
I saw this sometime in the 80s. I rented the video, and never seen it before. And somebody before me had rented it. One of my friends and said, "Oh, it's a horror comedy," and I rented it, and it's neither horror nor a comedy. But for some reason, it's so dumb and so elementary, and I love it. I'll still laugh at the dumb, idiotic jokes that are in it. I'll admit I did not like it at the time because I was like, what is this shit? Styrofoam tomatoes chasing people down the street. Because I was in the midst of watching horror classics like The Thing and
Don't Tell Hell.
Yeah, that one too. And again, another horror comedy that I don't know if it's a horror comedy, but stuff like that. So that's what I was really like. Evil Dead 2 and all those that were supposedly had comedy, and so that's the kind of comedy I was looking for with the horror. But it was more of an airplane type of dumb joke ripoff movie. So I did not like it then. But over the years, I've come to have a sort of a fondness for it, an appreciation for it. The jokes are really groany and I can't believe they did that. But when I found out that the helicopter crash was real, I almost fast forward to that part every time I watch it. Just fast forward right to that part. That's
a good move, and then you should keep right on fast forward.
Yeah, and yes, and the joke that came along with that scene was awesome. But yeah, I still like it. It's still, and I'll defend that. If I'm the only one here that likes it, and I'll have to be the one that fights off the three of you. But I still like this movie. It has a place right here, and whichever side my heart is on. I love it. I still love it, and I know it's dumb, and I know it's idiotic, and I still love it.
Yeah. Well, it's classic lines like, "Please pass the ketchup."
Yeah.
Where can you go wrong? Up next is the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, when did you first see this film, and what was your first impression, and what do you think of it now?
The first time I saw this was yesterday.
Wow. Oh my God, sir.
So what do you think of it now?
Yeah.
Had a day to think.
Pretty much what I thought yesterday. Well, actually, I watched it both days because I couldn't finish it in one sitting. So.
You tortured yourself. Oh my God.
Well, no. So I saw the box, and nothing on the box made me think, this looks like a movie I want to see. And I didn't know anybody that had seen it and said, "Oh, you need to see this." So nobody argued with me. So now watching it now, I had fun with it at first, but it's too much of the same type of thing for an hour and a half for me. I think hour and a half sittings I think half-hour sittings would be perfect for me. Watch about 30 minutes, get some yucks in, and then it starts to get old, and I go do something else. Then come back and watch the other 30 minutes the next day. So I watched the first 30 minutes last night, and I stuck with it for another 30 minutes, and then I went, the last 30 minutes is happening tomorrow. So, but there was some stuff I had fun with. Same with the helicopter crash. I love the, and actually, I think that's in the second 30 minutes, the pass the ketchup scene.
It's in the last 30.
Does it? I saw it before.
Because I do the same thing. I break it up in a 30-minute segment.
Ah, okay. But the master of disguises, the black guy has the white plastic nose on, and then he's Hitler. I don't know why, but that struck me funny. And the guy that was the marketing genius, so there's funny bits in here, but when you put that many of them that quick together, it wore on me, I guess.
War on you. It's a war on the tomatoes.
This is not one I'm going to buy.
No.
And I bought Ape, and I bought God Monster from Indian Flat. So
yeah. Well, Ape was a good purchase.
God Monster compared to this.
Yeah. All right. Bill Mulligan, sir. Oh my gosh, master of the 70s. When did you first see this? What was your first impression, and what do you think of it now, sir?
So I think in the 1970s, well, it had to be around the time when it was released. Maybe there was some show on TV that was Vincent Price or somebody talking about horror movies and showing clips and stuff, which was really cool because we didn't have very much back then.
Right.
And toward the end, they were talking about, what's the future of horror? And they showed a few things here, and they showed Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and they played the song. and they had some clips from it, and I thought it was hysterical. But like it was, yeah. And then years later, in the 80s, I got this and I watched it with my then wife, and we thought the theme song was great. And I don't even know if we watched the rest of it, but the theme song became kind of a running joke for us. We would sing that in various, change the lyrics and everything. And watching it now for the first time in a long time, it's exactly the way I remember. It's terrible. I can't believe, Chad, you mentioned airplane with this movie. Unless you saw this on an airplane, the words airplane should not even escape your lips when it's talking about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You're right. It's got bits. And the helicopter crash, past the ketchup, a couple of other master of disguise things. If you add all those bits together, I don't think you would break 2 minutes. And that's it. Whereas if you start talking about the funny parts of Airplane, you basically start at the beginning and you run through the entire movie. And every single bit in a movie like that is funny. Comedy.
I'm sorry, Bill. I'm sorry.
No,
2 minutes might be a little harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe,
oh my God.
Maybe 5.
I feel like I'm not saying I would have done a better job. I feel like these are the guys who, like myself, grew up on Mad Magazine before you graduate to National Lampoon. And they always have their funny movie and TV parodies, and it seems real easy. You just like replace a name here and there and some funny bits. And I'm sure they had a good time writing this. And they're like, oh, and then because she's a reporter, a guy comes by and it's Superman because he's like, we can see his cape coming out of his. Yeah. And it's like, oh, but then you watch the execution and it's just so lame. It's so lame. The song,
the tiny meeting room, Bill. The tiny meeting
room. That was amusing in kind of a get smart kind of way. They tried to do some social commentary. That's what gets me. They were trying to make some big statements here about politics and the media and everything else. And
Nixon.
Some of them kind of came close. But then when the guy goes to the ad agency and that guy starts singing, I want to crawl into a hole. It goes on forever, and it's cringy. It's not funny. It's cringy, like watching a bad stand-up comedian bomb. And but it looks like they had fun making it. I think they really did. And I've made movies like that are way more fun if you were there making it with us than it would be to watch it. I have no illusions in that regard, but I don't know. It's so low budget. The joke is so thin, and yet it's a full length movie.
Yeah, they did it. 1 hour and 23 minutes. Yeah.
And it spawned a franchise. This is what blows my mind. There's like 5 of these,
and
I have zero interest in watching any of them. Although
and a remake on the way, apparently. Yeah. Gasp. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna come to the chase here. I remember when this came out, and when it came out, I was living in DC, just outside the Beltway, or just inside the Beltway, and on the Virginia side. And I remember the commercials for this, and it was rather fascinating to see this. And I remember that show you were talking about with Vincent Price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that, and I was like, but I never really saw it until VHS days, right? And rented it like Chad, and I don't even remember finishing it. I just remember hating it. And never, the only thing I like about it is the song, right? Said we're going to do it, and there I go. So I haven't had any desire to watch it again. Chad comes along.
Yeah, there. And along comes Chad.
It makes me watch it. And oh my God, I hate this movie. I hate it. It's terrible. This movie is the worst. It is influenced by all those things that you were saying, Bill. Of course, maybe a little bit of Mel Brooks in there as well. I'm going to defend Chad. I think this movie, along with those influences and maybe some Kentucky Fried Movie as well, influenced Airplane.
Yeah.
Because I think there's the core idea of, Saturday Night Live, gag, is your movie, is what, the Zuckers perfected, right? In 1980 something, 1980 or 1981, which is just 2 years later, right? But this movie, it's a cult classic. It's terrible. but you can only like it in its cult classicness.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think? I mean, it's only it is a satire, but you have to look at it as, you know, Plan 9 from outer space, kind of. Wow, this is a disaster, and I'm eating it up. Now, I like my share of bad movies. Don't get me wrong, and there are plenty of them out there. But this movie, oh my god! I'm like,
it's going to be a short podcast.
I'm like Bill.
No.
Zero interest. I do not want to watch anymore.
I did not hate it. It was, no, I probably won't go back. But the one running bit that I enjoyed seeing every time was Finletter, who never takes off his parachute harness.
Yeah.
So he's always running around like he has a 40-foot cape hanging off his shoulders.
Yeah.
And it's getting stuck in doors, and it's I don't know.
Yeah. And nobody thinks they ask about it. I mean,
nobody says a word. You know.
I don't hate this movie. I don't care enough about it to hate it.
I do.
You know, it just.
Why are we here?
Chad.
Why are we here?
See, now I wonder though, if they remake it, you know, they're going to do better special effects because they have to. But you know, would that take away what charm it has to actually have CGI tomatoes crushing things? I mean, the whole thing is just a ludicrous premise, and it's filmed the way a premise like that should be filmed. It would look weird to have, you know, actual destruction, everything, you know, the big battle scene where they, you know, setting off smoke bombs and lots of crazy editing.
The miniatures, man.
Oh my God.
Okay, and I like that. I actually like that scene because I'm thinking to myself, okay, these guys, they've bit off way more than they can chew. How are they going to show the army taking on tomatoes, destroying the city? And I thought that was actually kind of charming. It's incompetent and badly done, but it's got an energy to it, and it tells the story. And you know, you kind of admire when you see people climbing mountains even though they don't have hands. You know, they're not doing it very well, but the fact that they're doing it at all is impressive. So I mean, there are some little bits about it that I find amusing, but it's way too long. And Jeff's right, you got to watch it in small bits. I should have paced myself. I should have paced myself. It's like running a marathon. If you try to do it all at once, you throw up.
No, get it done, get it over with.
Oh yeah, just tear that Band-Aid right off.
No, yeah, just tear. Yeah. No, don't stretch this pain out. Are you kidding? Oh my God! All right, should we go over the stats on this?
Why?
Oh, sure.
What's the point?
Well, maybe I don't know. It's
I gotta know where this was filmed.
Oh, you know, that's a good. Well, San Diego. What do you mean? You're giving me shit? Is that what you're doing?
I think he's doing the sarcasm there.
You make me watch this and then you give me shit. Oh man. What are we? Okay, puberty love. Let's talk about puberty love.
Yeah.
You know what I saw about puberty love?
What?
I read it in a couple of places, but I don't know how true it is. But it was performed by the drummer for Soundgarden and Pearl Jam.
Matt Cameron.
Yeah, so there you go. He made a name for himself. And hey, let me say something about this. Let me give this movie a little credit. Puberty Love, is that not exactly the same joke as what was eventually used in Mars Attacks?
Yes, that's what I thought.
So it was a good joke because, you know, they totally ripped that off for Mars Attacks.
Yeah, but
an infinitely better movie. But
doesn't Slim Whitman make it a little bit more?
Slim Whitman, yeah.
Oh, Slim
So it would have been Mars Attacks ripping off.
God.
Yeah, I mean,
he sold more #1 records than the Beatles in England,
according to KTEL.
Yeah, according to KTEL.
I remember that. Oh my God, that was on. Tried to watch horror movies on a Saturday night, and you have to put up with Slim Whitman every 5 minutes.
Anybody remember Peter Lemongello? I know I'm going off into the weeds.
Yeah, here. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't alone there. Okay.
Slim Whitman.
Yeah.
Boxcar Willie. Remember Boxcar Willie?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going way off the track now.
Otherwise, we got to talk about the damn movie.
Well, I have been at one of the sets, Qualcomm Stadium.
Yeah.
I've been to a baseball game there.
what did you think of that? With all the, I mean, no. You can relate to this, right? Because they probably said, "Hey, we're filming a movie. We need some extras. Come, wear a costume." And it's a bunch of kids. When did that ever happen to you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, this happens a lot. If there's a movie called Darkness by Leif Yonker, a really interesting low-budget Super 8 vampire movie. It was filmed in Wichita, and the vampires take over this town. He got everyone who came out there. Everyone who came out was a kid. Everyone who came, so this whole town is kid vampires. I mean, this is what happens when you put out the call for zombies and stuff. You get a certain kind of person. But I thought that worked because I don't know if that was in the script or not, but they just, the only people who are left here are the crazy people, which explain why everyone looked like a mental patient or dressed in costume or, clearly there was no guidance given other than just come as you are, be yourself. And that was fun. That was cute. And they got to stomp on tomatoes. See, if I go to that stadium, I'm going to bring a tomato with me and film it there, to show before security takes me away.
Takes you away for literal.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, like they were dressed up like the Marx Brothers, one of them, right? A couple of them.
Yeah. There was the San Diego chicken, and
he was a San Diego. Bill? Did that work? I mean, because they had they filmed it in reverse a little bit. The coming down the hill, right? So
yeah. Oh yeah. And even doing that, it didn't really work. Like, things were supposed to come down way further than they were, and they just sort of sat there, and the camera just kept right on rolling. Right? Is something supposed to happen? I mean, are we supposed to like suspense here, and then it kind of moved a little bit? It's like, just put it on a skateboard or what? I don't know.
I mean, most of the time they just threw the tomatoes so they'd roll, right? Like when our hero, what's our hero's name, folks?
Mason Dixon.
Dixon.
There's comedy for you right there.
Hey, you know what I also like? Maybe Chad can do this. When the tomatoes are like attacking people and everything, especially in the water, did you not get a piranha vibe out of that?
Big time.
The sound
the gibberish from the tomatoes was to me, it was hilarious. I don't know about you guys, but it was just it sounded like my drunk uncle, sitting on the sofa.
Wow.
Who did that? Was that Rob
Bottin?
Rob Bottin.
Piranhas.
Oh,
Piranha, yeah, Piranha.
Yeah.
He worked on it.
Don't you picture him underwater with tomatoes on a stick?
Yeah.
I'm pretty, because I was going to say I don't think Rob Bottin was anywhere near this movie.
No.
Kevin Bottin, but
yeah.
Although there was one person in this movie that I recognized.
Yeah. Who was that?
Jack Riley.
Yeah.
He played Mr. Carlin on the old Bob Newhart show.
Yeah.
That's what I remember him from.
Okay.
He was awesome
when he was a psychiatrist. Yeah, and he actually, you could kind of tell he's been an actor.
yeah, he was the only recognizable one that I.
He's also the guy who did the voice of a bunch of the characters in Rugrats.
Yes.
Excuse me.
San Diego's calling.
I'm trying to use the phone.
Hey, sweetie, I'm on a podcast right now. Can I call you back in a bit?
That was perfect. Oh my God.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Oh, this will take up 5 minutes.
The kids come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, they do.
All right, let's get back to Jack Riley, because there is an interesting thing about him. He's in the beginning of the movie. He's there at the crash, the helicopter crash, which is what all the budget went for, because they had to pay for the $60,000 helicopter that they rented and crashed.
Not $100,000 budget and $60,000.
I know. Not on purpose. It was an accident.
Didn't they have insurance?
The pilot, get insurance. The pilot did survive, but and without a scratch apparently. But it's or with minor injuries. He's received minor injuries. They got a couple scratches. But Jack Riley and George Wilson were there and had to ad lib all the nonsense that went with it.
Yeah, they were great. They didn't break character. I mean, I would have shit myself, because helicopters are scary under any circumstance. And now you got one where the rotor blades are about to Vic Morrow me into oblivion.
The two army men.
Now that I know it's real, it's even funnier to me.
Yeah. The two army men hiding behind the car that were shooting in a different direction, they literally, this thing, the tail rotor hits, it spins around. You can see the centrifugal force whipping the pilot, and it crashes, and they just stand up and look. They don't act surprised. It doesn't like, what? They put this in the script. Nobody told me.
I'm sorry.
How many people on that set shit their pants that day? What do you think? Can you imagine being on there and that happens? Bill, can you imagine?
No, helicopters terrify me. They don't look like they should even work, and they often don't. So yeah, you know, if I have a heart attack, and I have to be airlifted to like Chapel Hill or something, I'm going to request someone just put me in the back seat and drive me there, and you know, we can have a nice conversation. Maybe I won't make it. That's all right.
So in terms of safety, Bill, you know, you could have a 2-engine plane and you could fly it with one engine working. You can't fly a helicopter with one engine working.
No. Right. I don't even like those airplanes with the 2-engine. I mean, the Buddy Holly specials. No, I don't like those either.
Oh, Bill Mulligan!
Well, you're not going to tell me Buddy Holly is too soon. That's like 100 years ago. Come on.
It's not, Bill.
Leave me alone.
It's not too soon.
Stevie Ray Vaughan was a helicopter. Is that too soon? That was like 1990.
Oh my God! Just.
The guy from St. Elsewhere, helicopters. They're awful. They're terrible.
But to watch that on screen, and I'm like, wow, that really looks real.
I mean, one of my best friends, Tom Gore. Tom Gore was a helicopter pilot in Afghanistan.
Oh wow!
And
he was flying this one.
It wasn't so fine for him. He was flying people he was flying toward. But you know, they had it coming.
You're right. You're right, Chad. You're watching that, and sort of out of the corner of your eye, you see this. Wait a minute! Did the tail just hit the ground?
Yeah,
whips around.
Like, and the one laugh out loud moment for me in the movie, I think, is when I can't remember the exact line, but the guy, you know, was like, "How's it going?" He was, "I don't think it'll fly again." Not the helicopter, you clod. Which, Mad Magazine did that.
Did we have the pilot? No.
You know, you got to laugh. You just spent $60,000. You might as well get a joke out of it.
Well, you got it on film, so
yeah.
Because it could have happened where you didn't get it on film.
He did it right. You know, that's he did it right in shot. You know, right in
yeah.
Perfect framing.
I mean, it was supposed to land, and you know.
Then when it crashed, they set it on fire.
No, well,
they set it on fire. No, they burned it. They burned it. They burned it. Yeah,
trying to get rid of the evidence.
To make it look better, I guess, for the next scene.
That was cool.
For that joke.
Explosion.
Yeah. Unlike the tomatoes explode, but the helicopters don't explode.
I wonder how they talk to the helicopter rental place about this. You know, like how do you just broach the subject? You know how that helicopter you gave us was all like one long piece?
Not so much anymore. Oh my God. You bring it back in a box. Wait, how do you?
Oh no, that's how we got it. Yeah, it looked like this when we got it.
Oh my God! All right. Somebody. Does anybody here know the connection between Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Twin Peaks?
Oh my gosh! Dana Ashbrook.
Oh
yeah. Dana Ashbrook made his film debut in here.
Now, which character was he?
Which character was he? He was the teen, the bad boy teen. What was his name? Now I got to go to IMDb and look it up because I don't remember it. He was Bobby Briggs. But anyway, no, in the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. No, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. He was 10 years old. He was the boy on the boat.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So, but now that doesn't mean anything. I don't know why.
Boy, this
has gray hair. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the two leads, nobody exactly took a look at them in this movie and said, I think I found my Juliet.
But Lois
became
a dean at a community college in California.
Okay.
I kind of liked her, actually.
That wasn't her name. I did too. She had I don't know what it was, gumption or something, you know.
She had spunk.
Spunk. There we go.
Well, you know,
she had moxie. Yeah.
Well, David Miller
Sharon Taylor
was actually in more movies. He made, after this, he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more movies between over the next 10 years. So a couple TV movies, and he played the devil in Speak of the Devil, which I have no idea what the hell that is.
Interesting casting against type. I mean, both of them were clearly chosen to not look like typical leading actors. I mean, I think that was part of the joke, is that these were kind of ordinary looking people, not glamorous movie star, leading man, leading lady types. And the makeup and everything was deliberately done to not make them look glamorous. So, you know, I don't want to make any cruel comments on their looks. I mean, what am I, a GQ model? But that's to me, I think that was. What are you shaking your head for?
I was just agreeing with you. That's all.
You picked this movie. I'm glad you had to watch Parasite. That's take that.
Now, another scene that kind of rang true right now was the Senate committee hearing.
Oh yeah,
like there hasn't been enough of them in the last couple of years. And what was it we're meeting about again?
Yeah. That's worth a chuckle.
Did you notice their names? All their names were like presidents.
Yeah. Polk and
like Fillmore, I think.
We are lifting up the cushions on the couch to try to find nuggets of humor here. Like, you're at this movie is so long between belly laughs, if there are any, that you're just searching for anything. Oh, look, the senators have the names of presidents. Oh, my sides.
They had a helicopter in it.
When I go back to the helicopter scene, just put it on an endless loop where it just
there's a scene in a baseball stadium.
Look, a miniature tank. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Just like in them Godzilla movies.
Dig it in the couch.
Based on the cover of the box. Based on the cover of the box, I expected the tomatoes to be kind of like the old Kool-Aid commercials, or the.
That would have been good. That would have been funny.
That's copywritten. Don't say that.
I mean, this movie has a lot of setups for very little payoff. So it's like, we introduce, here's your team, here's your new team, and they have a woman who looks like Olga Korbut grown up.
He's our underwater expert.
And then what's the payoff of that? She's eating a bowl of steroidios or something.
Yeah, it just said steroids on it.
Literally, that's the only joke that character has. That's a lot of setup for one joke, and then we throw tomatoes at her, and she's crushed.
Yeah, and then the other guy, all he does is jump into a fountain.
Yeah. Which was filmed without a permit, by the way.
Yes.
Like, who cares?
Just another day.
At least the other two, they had a little bit more going on with them.
I think they shot this movie, they edited this movie, and they realized this movie was nowhere near long enough. So it's like, I got it. Go back to the stuff with the ad man, and let's do some funny gags on ads, which look like student films that they might have shot and stuff, and with just padding.
And it just kept going with that too. You'd have a scroll at the bottom with furniture on sale, stuff like that.
I do remember laughing once.
Once.
Let's hear it.
So this movie has a twist. Do you remember? This movie has a twist. Early on, the person that is part of the twist is looking to shoot our hero. Mason Dixon. And he's walking down the sidewalk, and every time he shoots, somebody else walking down the sidewalk.
Yes.
It's like ding, ding.
Yeah.
But do you guys remember? This movie has a twist.
With the Richardson guy?
Yeah. Well, he starts out being the president's press
secretary.
Yeah, press secretary.
Yeah.
And was like, nobody's as close to the president as the press secretary.
At first, I thought that guy was Nicholas Hammond, the guy that played Spider-Man in the old
I
TV
was
show.
thinking that too. I was like,
He looked
does
really
have that-
familiar, and that's why I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't him.
See, yeah, I thought he looked familiar too, and then I look up his credits. Like I haven't seen any of this crap.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're right. That there does have a Nicholas Hammond look, and now I want to know whatever happened to Nicholas Hammond.
He was just in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was him. Yeah,
Oh, good
I
for
think
him.
that was the movie. Yeah.
God bless Tarantino getting these
Yeah.
people some work there. Yeah.
Again,
the
we
slow
can't get
motion
off the
car
movie
chase.
now. We're getting too far.
You know,
off
the slow motion car chase feels like it's been done since. That you know, like, that seems like something that would have been in Police Squad or something. You know,
I've seen better car chases than The Beast Must Die.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. When you said that, for some reason I blanked out and I thought Beastmaster. And I like, so the joke is that Beastmaster takes place in a primitive world where there are no cars. I see where you're going there, Chad. But then I was like, no, he didn't say Beastmaster. Shut up, brain. You're drunk.
Shut up, Brain.
The beast must.
Killing me tonight, Bill. You're
The
killing
beast
me.
must or die.
Yeah.
Mustard,
The
mustard.
Beastmaster must die. Oh my God.
Copyright that quick.
Yeah, quick. Someone get on the phone, stat.
We got
I
a
like
script,
how they-
Hollywood.
Whenever there was tomato detritus lying around, they always had to taste it to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it was
they
tomato
took
or
my
blood.
my least favorite tropes in a movie when there's blood on the ground and somebody always has to stick their hand in it and rub it between their fingers to realize that it's
Yeah.
blood. These two guys take it a step further and go,
Yeah.
tomato
That's
juice.
not blood.
I thought it was blood. Tomato.
It's a-
yeah.
It's a tried and true forensic test.
Oh my gosh. But every time I hate that, just so everybody knows, I hate that where they just go, it is blood.
Keep an eye out for that.
The best takeoff on that is in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
When he holds up the severed head, he's like, look, it's just fake blood. Warm, salty, fake blood.
Little
Again,
copper.
we're veering off into other movie territory.
Oh,
again.
yeah. This
Listen
movie
to
inspires you to think of other better movies.
I love it. This makes me love the movie even more. So,
All right. Well, I guess the biggest thing to say about this movie is that it became a cult classic, a cult status. It earned that, along with other movies playing in theaters at midnight over the weekends and over a long period of time. Usually bad movies. Some of those you come to love, and others
Yeah.
Nah.
hate.
Hey, come on. 1 out of 4 of us fell in love with it. That's a good percentage. It's a
That's
big
actually
country.
pretty good. That's actually pretty
Yeah.
good for these movies. Yeah. And it did spawn 3 sequels, a cartoon show, and a remake. So they say.
But
But and this is a big but.
there's always a but.
It's always a big butt.
oh, you're waiting for me?
Everybody I know always has a big butt.
So the
Simone.
the but for me is does any of those movies do
The
any of
butt
those
for me.
movies
The big butt for me is.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
lie.
sitting
Oh my God, we're thinking
You can't
below
tell.
right now.
Spike my coffee.
I was well anyway did any of those sequels have killer carrots in them?
Oh, the ending, the stinger.
'Cause they set up
At the end, yeah.
They did
Yeah,
I
so
sure.
good.
I've never seen any of this. Well, no, I saw a return.
Was that Carrot Top?
Kind of looked like him.
No. See, that joke would have been in the movie because it was that bad.
Because it was that bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the sequels actually they did a little more with the tomatoes actually had like mouths and teeth, and they did some more puppetry and things because
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Well, you
Which is a
want
good
to,
idea.
right? Because
yeah.
that was what's awesome about the poster is that it has that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that poster looked good, and the tomatoes themselves were just tomatoes that had no real personality or anything, except for the one that was wearing the earmuffs, which was a
Yes.
The toilet
Which
seat
one
earmuffs.
was? Yeah, the toilet seat earmuffs.
Well, here's some interesting things. We can't not talk about this. All right, so the sequel came out, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, in what, in 1988. It J. Stephen Peace Wilbur Finletter returned. He did return. It also introduced Professor Gangrene, which was John Astin, who would be in the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And the star of the movie, is George Clooney.
Killed his career
before
it even started. Strangled that career in the crib.
Oh, just think of what he could have done.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
It was either this movie or porn. He chose poorly.
He chose Batman and Robin. That was
or Grizzly 2.
Grizzly.
You had to bury one of them. So
wasn't he like Roseanne's boss or something in the Roseanne show too before
he was on soap operas, Roseanne.
Can you imagine you go out to Hollywood to become a movie star and your first 2 features are the sequel to a movie about a giant bear where they never actually he made the giant bear, so it never got released, and Return of the Killer Tomatoes. And you didn't get paid a whole lot for either one. Things are looking kind of grim. Your mom's asking you to come back home and work in the factory like your dad always wanted. And you're like, no, Mom, I have a dream. I have a vision. I'm an artist. I just made a movie about killer tomatoes.
Well, I'll bet actually you were probably kind of fired up. Even you knew it was a dumb movie. You got work right away, right?
Yeah.
Hey, work's work, right? All right. I think we're not even talking about the damn movie anymore. Let's just go ahead and finish this up.
Thank God.
If you're listening to this,
Holly Hunter in The Burning said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Remember at the beginning when I said I'll defend this against the 3 of you? I still do.
Yeah, but it's looking like the Alamo at this point.
Yeah, that's just. Sorry. I'm looking for the basement in the Alamo now, so I can go hide in it.
I'm on fire, man!
That's 2 Pee Wee Herman's references in this podcast.
Attack of the Killer Bills. All right, we got to stop. If you're listening to this, we apologize. No, but thank you for sticking around with us, and we really hope you enjoy this. Please hit the subscribe button down. I have like a feeling that nobody's going to be doing this. No, please hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button or the dislike button. Hit the bell if you want to be reminded of other ones coming out, and leave some comments. We got to know: do you like this movie? Have you seen this movie? Should we be more like Chad? And show some appreciation and love for this obviously classic film, or am I right? And this is shit. I don't know which, but it's got to be one or the other.
I know it's terrible. I know it is. It's a terrible movie, but there's just some silly junk in there that it makes me laugh out loud, and I can't.
Well,
I can't dismiss that, it is bad, but I
think we can split the difference between Chad's love and your opinion that it's shit and just say Chad loves shit.
Yeah, I do. But let's keep my personal life out of this. Okay?
Wow.
Bill, you're killing me tonight.
So 2 comments on Chad. Well, not necessarily on Chad.
Personal comments? Let's keep it.
No. At Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, for anybody who wants to see this, on the day we record this, it is on Amazon Prime. And also, I know you don't say this stuff anymore, Doc, but this is the day after the election. This was a perfect palate cleanser for watching election news for the last 24 hours, I think.
Oh my God.
For us to just loosen it up and have a good time.
That might explain a lot of why I'm so daffy tonight.
Sodium citrate would not be a good enough cleanser for that mess of election.
All right.
Those of us over 50 get that right.
Yeah. Well, to lighten the atmosphere, right?
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Chad, is there anything else you want to say? Because you kind of did your final thoughts there just a few minutes ago.
Well, I did. I just, I have to say, I know you guys don't like it, and I don't even know if I really like it, but I just find it funny. I just do it. And I know full well that it's a terrible movie and a horrible movie. But I always laugh at silly stuff that makes no sense. And it's just my sense of humor, I guess.
All right, Jeff. What about you, sir? Any final thoughts, wisdom?
Same thing. I mean, I'm not like as far as Chad. I'm not as far as Doc. In 20-30-minute doses, I was laughing just because of the stupidity. You know, it's like laughing at. Well, it isn't. I don't want to denigrate that. I was going to compare him to the Three Stooges, but no, it's far below that. But there's just stupid stuff, and as Bill said, they look like they're having fun, you know. And there's a certain something to that. I think.
I would give you that. I would give you that. Bill, sir, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't even say this. The closest thing to this movie, and I hope none of you have seen this, is an X-rated movie called Gums. It's a porno, except there isn't really any porn in the version I saw, a version of Jaws. And it is the most unerotic, unfunny, erotic comedy ever made.
I think we get the picture.
Yeah.
That might be all we need to know.
Compared to that, this is actually kind of okay. I mean, watch it in small doses. It's not Fury of the Wolfman. I mean, I didn't want to gnaw my arm off to get away from
you know, you might be right about that. Oh my God.
It did. There was a story. There was a story.
There was. And it just is longer than it needs to be. But watch it in little bits and pieces, and it's okay. And I can see where you see it at the right frame of mind, the right time. You're trying marijuana for the first time, and watching this, and it would kind of give you fond memories.
It's legal in 4 new states.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, my opinion. I'm not going to say anything else. Jeff, do we have feedback this week?
We do not.
Okay, we'd love that. You tell me, sir. You're the feedback master.
I didn't think we did. We do not.
Okay.
I'm sure we're going to hear back from the fan of this show.
I'm going to leave comments.
You might be surprised. There could be. This movie's a cult, classic for a reason. There are.
I'm just going to say, how dare you only spend 45 minutes on Attack of the Killer Tomato?
That might be it.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Jeff, Chad,
yeah.
Bill, Tamahto. Thank you for joining me tonight. This actually was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Come back next time for Attack of the Killer Amoebas. Or no, wait, that is.
I like that actually. Jeff, you're killing me tonight.
I'm sure that's a title for it somewhere in the world.
Yeah,
it's probably.
We're doing Space Amoeba, better known, Chad, as what?
Yogg.
Monster from space.
Not to be confused with Trog with Joan Crawford.
Or Gog. Which
Your Hunter from the Future.
Yeah.
Especially not that one.
Yeah.
Or Count Yorg.
We need to go longer.
Let's say goodnight. Say goodnight.
Good night. We're in stage direction over here.
Have a good day.